don't start with the idea of you're going to write a book, because if you have never written, writing a book will feel very big, and you're more likely to hit that writer's block then.
What are the different ways in which we can get our work published?
Do it yourself. So you write a book, you go on a platform that supports indie authors like Amazon, and you publish your book.
Can anyone go out there and publish their book on Amazon Kindle?
Yes.
You are listening to The Clarity Talk.
Before we start, let me ask you one question. Have you ever dreamt of publishing your own book? If yes, then this episode is for you. Hello, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of The Clarity Talk Show. I am your host, Shobh Gautam. This time we have with us Pooja Mohan. Pooja describes herself as an indie author, that is, an independent author. She is the author of Perfect Imperfections and Meant to Be. She's currently working on a romantic suspense novel titled The Rajput. We start by discussing about her personal life, her experience as an author, and why she left her corporate job to write. We then talk about things like writer's block, how to improve your writing, how to find out your style, and some tips for you to improve your writing. But writing is just half the work done. The other half is to get your book out there, to get it published. She shares insights from her experience with Kindle Direct Publishing Program. It is a platform by Amazon where anyone can write and get their books published free of cost. Please listen to the episode till the end and share your feedbacks with me. So without any delay, let's get into the conversation. Hello Pooja ma'am, welcome to the Clarity Talk Show. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Great. So in this episode, we'll talk about your journey as an author, everything about writing books, how to get your books published, But before we talk about that, let us
Yes.
talk about you. Let us talk about your journey so far. Could you please tell us something about yourself, like where you grew up, your studies, and all, and how you decide that you wanted to become an author?
Okay, so I was born in a small place in Jharkhand, and then I went to a boarding school in Maharashtra at a young age. I was in the sixth standard when I went to the boarding school, and that's where I actually developed a reading habit, and because there was specific time that you had to do different activities, so
Okay.
you had dedicated time for reading, and there was nothing else but read, and that's how I got into reading. But I
Okay.
never thought I'll be an author. I never even thought, how do people become writers and authors. I never thought of it. And even becoming an author happened very organically. I finished my schooling, I finished my studies, I did graduation, and then I did my MBA in marketing, communications, and HR. Then I started my career, got busy with that, and as I got busy, I started reading less and less. And eventually, my career was at a point where I was not moving ahead in my career, and it was leading to a lot of frustration. So I went back to reading, and
Mm.
then I discovered a community of writers
Wow.
called NaNoWriMo. That's a international community of writers who get together once a year and write for 1 month. And from there on, I was like, okay, now that I've written a book, what do I do with it? And then I found out there's something called self-publishing. So I started, finding out more and more about it. And then I was like, oh, this is how they do it in self-publishing. So I tried that. And then I was like, okay, so let's write another book. So wrote another book. Let's see if I can do better, get better sales than my first book.
Right.
And it's just like curiosity, like let's try something different, let's see what happens. And after like 5 6 years now is when I'm like, let's see if something can happen in traditional publishing. So it's all like curiosity and just trying to understand the industry, because it's very different from what I had initially planned for with my MBA and everything.
Right.
So it's been an organic growth in this industry.
Okay.
So
So you said that you have a degree in management, marketing communications, and human resources, and you also have a 7-year experience of working for an MNC. How was this
yes.
corporate experience for you?
So when I was working for this company, it was a project management job, but had more to do with finance angle of it. So it was not even related to what I had done my MBA in.
Okay.
So I got
Okay.
a lot of exposure in like the finance side of things, a lot of reports and Excel and analyzing data and those kind of things.
Hmm.
And if you see this, nothing makes sense, right? Marketing communication, HR, finance, project management, nothing makes sense. But now that I am an independent author, everything is coming handy. I have
Acha.
to manage my project release. That's the project management side of it. I have to
Haha.
manage my budget and my marketing budget. That's the finance part of it. I have to market my book, be on social media,
Yes.
write blog posts. That's the marketing communication aspect of it. So it's all
Yes.
coming together.
Wow. That's wonderful.
So that's why I
So,
say, like, when you're not sure what you're doing, do things that comes organically to you, because eventually it'll all make sense.
right. We end up thinking too much about
Yes.
end goals and everything. Acha, so like when did you make that shift? What made you to, you know, leave corporate and everything and come into writing?
So personally, in my personal life, there were a lot of changes happening, and in my career, there wasn't any movement that I wanted to happen. I was not able to make those big steps happen, and then I got this opportunity where my husband got a job abroad.
Okay.
So as an expat, he was moving abroad, and I was like, why not take this opportunity and see if I can do something with writing and publishing and things.
Right.
If it does not work out, I have my degree, I have a qualification, I have some experience to fall back on.
Mm.
So that has been the plan, and so far it's kind of making sense. It's working out. So
Wow.
let's see. So
Great.
that's when
So,
I actually like went full time into
mm,
exploring the indie publishing side of things.
it's so like personal, some due to some personal reasons and also because of your professional reasons and things just came together. You decided you should start writing.
Yeah, yeah. So there were a lot of opportunities which I was not able to take on. And then there was this big change that was happening in my personal life. And I was like, if I'm so, uh, I was at a point in my career where I was very dissatisfied creatively, because you
Right.
can make so many Excel reports and you can present the data and analyze and make all these charts and graphs and pivots.
Mm.
But creatively, it was not fulfilling. So when I had this opportunity where I could part ways with the corporate world at a good note, because when you leave things not so good, then it's hard to come back. But I had this opportunity where I could leave everything with good relations, and
Yes.
if I had to like go back, I had good contact. So I left things at a good note.
Okay. So, like, when you were not having a very good time with corporate, you made this extreme shift in your career, also your life. How
Mhm.
does it feel like to make such an extreme shift, especially when you're shifting to something that you already love? When you talk about that, also tell us if there were any challenges that you faced.
The big thing that I think I had to be very clear on was that I had to know that making this shift would not work out in my favor and I would lose some time. And I had to make myself be okay with that time loss, with
Okay.
that concept of being time lost, because nothing is really lost because you always learn even when you're not succeeding at something. But you have to be mentally prepared that that could also happen. And the second thing was that because this was a completely different industry, I had to start from the first step. I had to learn everything, and all that work that I had done to, study and get my degrees and work at this corporate job and be at good at it for so many years, and then leave what you're good at and then go to something and start from scratch where you are the newbie and you don't know anything and you have to learn. You have to be humble enough to ask questions. So
Okay.
those were the challenges, but I never thought of it as challenge. I was enjoying it too much. I'm still enjoying it a lot. So industry is also changing so much that there's so much new to learn. So
Yes,
that
yes.
was the big uh, mindset change that had to happen for me to enjoy this phase, this exploration that I was on.
Really loved it when you said that these challenges did like never felt like challenges. You were kind of enjoying them. And
Mhm.
I guess that's what happened when you do things that you really like.
True.
Well, now let's talk about your life as an author. We all want
Yes.
to know, how does a typical day in the life of an author looks like?
So when you are working on a the writing project, it goes through different phases. So initially you have this idea and you're developing the idea and you're writing your first draft and all the other drafts that come after that. So that's very heavy on writing. So during that phase, getting up early and writing for X number of hours so that you get your drafts ready. But once you have the draft ready and you are doing self editing or working on, like for me, I'm an indie author, so I'll be working on publishing the book. So what will be the marketing plan and the promotion plan, and thinking about the budget and hiring a professional editor and those kind of things. So then the days are not so writing heavy. Then you have to spend more time on the other things that go into publishing a book. So if I see like my previous books, if I've sat and written for 3 to 6 months, then 3 to 6 months are heavy on writing. So every day I'll be writing. But the second half of the cycle would be like when you are sitting and writing blog posts, or the product copy that you'll put on Amazon, and you're sitting and writing those things. So even though they are like few number of words, but you're spending more time on those kind of activities.
Okay.
Because so different activities have like different focus, and then my day looks different because of the different activities.
Right. So when you're writing, your days are heavily revolving around writing.
Yes.
What are the other things that interest you, other than writing?
So other than the universe of writing, and I would say even reading will come in that, because I,
Yes.
as an author, as a writer, you also read a lot. So other than that, I have been indulging myself to find out new hobbies, because earlier writing used to be a hobby. So now I have to find new hobbies that that is not related to the universe of writing and publishing and things. So I have
Okay.
been trying to learn more about how to keep plants alive, because I'm very bad at keeping plants alive. So, just tinkering with plants and, taking care of them. Then I was okay at drawing. So I have recently like pulled out my sketchbook and started, doodling a little to see if I have any, you know, anything remains from, your childhood
Hmm.
when you were better at these things.
Right,
And
right.
I also have started going back. I used to be good at calligraphy,
Wow.
writing, and I didn't do it for a very long time, and I want to go back to that. So I've been looking at that and practicing a little bit. So like these things I have started doing just so that I have something else outside of the
Right.
writing, publishing things.
Okay, just let me ask you this. You
Hmm.
said that writing was your hobby, but now it's more like a work. Is that true?
Yeah.
Like, does it feel like a work to you now, or does it still feel like leisure?
Sometimes it's work and sometimes it's leisure because again, like when what phase of writing you are on. Like I don't like the revision phase and the rewrite phase. I
Okay.
enjoy the first draft phase because you can just be free and you can discover your story. But then you have to tame yourself and you have to get to a deadline and make your book ready.
Hmm.
And the revision phase is very difficult for me. So then it becomes like work. But
Okay.
when I'm drafting or when I'm just exploring a story idea, so those phases are very much fun. I enjoy those early phases of a project.
Great. So, could you share your experience with your first book? How did you came up with the idea? How did you made the characters come to life? And also, what all happened after you wrote it and you were like, you had to publish it?
Hmm. When I started getting into writing a little more seriously, I started with some workshops and just getting into the world of story writing. And then I wrote a book and I thought it was very good. So I went ahead and published it, after the editing and all those things. And that experience was fun because I never thought of being an author so actively. I was like, okay, I finished writing this book. Let me find an editor. Found an editor. He said it was good, and whatever corrections were there. And then I said, oh, Amazon, you can use Amazon to publish your book. So I went
Okay.
and did that. And so it was very that whole phase was, I was enjoying what I was doing. I never thought I'll go and I have to sell so many books, or and I just wanted to get a copy for myself. That was all
Okay.
that I was thinking of doing.
Wow.
So and Amazon was not printing the copies in India. They still don't. So I had to pay a very high shipping cost to get it shipped to India. And I just got two copies of it, one for myself and one for my parents, because they were very excited, that I've written something. That's
Oh my
it.
God. Yeah, that was amazing.
Then, yeah, and then a few copies sold. So I was like, okay, let's see, what is this in indie publishing? And then I started learning more about it and trying to make my book better so that I can understand how it differs from having a just a book put together versus put together a quality book and then see
Right.
how the book does. So it was a fun experience, but the book itself did not do very well
What was the name of your
because
first debut book? I mean, your debut novel?
yeah, it's called Perfect Imperfections.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it was just a book where I explored the whole indie publishing world, and
Right.
I liked the results even though they were like minute and I didn't know what I was doing. And then things started, like as I learned things and I applied them, I would see results, and that was motivating to go on and on. So that's
I
what the first book, the experience with that was.
I want to make a comment here. I actually read your book, Perfect Imperfections, and
Okay.
I really, really enjoyed it.
Oh
And
my.
the thing
Thank
that
you.
I, the thing that I enjoyed the most was the character development of Kim. Right.
Hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
somehow uh, I could relate a lot to her because of the
Mm-hmm.
fact that she messes up things, and she was like this imperfect girl, and
Yeah.
everything was very clumsy about her. So I
Yeah.
could somehow relate to her, but but because at the end things got, things took turn and things happen, I got a positive
Mm-hmm.
ray of hope that things will change and things will get better. But overall the experience was really amazing. It was a very good read.
Thank you. Thank you.
I could
I
only
feel that
imagine
was,
how much thought goes into developing a character. Yeah, please continue.
yeah, actually, to that, developing characters, it's a lot of these stories have themes that we pull from our own stories. So
Yes, yes.
nothing, like sometimes we don't know what we're doing and then we mess up a situation that otherwise would have been perfect. But then unless and until you make mistakes and you figure out how to, fix those mistakes, then that's where you find your own strength and find out how you are in different situations. And that book, I wrote that book as a discovery for myself, and
Wow.
while while developing, writing the character of Kim and her whole story and her friends and her family
Yes.
and everything, it was like giving my own experiences a nod that this is how, like, not everything is perfect, but in those imperfect situations you can have perfect moments, and then they kind of come together at the end. So that was the story, and yeah, I'm glad that you liked it.
What you just said reminds me of something Franz Kafka once wrote.
Mhm.
And I don't remember exactly, but he wrote on these lines that a book must be an axe to explore the hidden sea within us.
Yes, yes, true. And I feel I don't know any writer who does not use their writing in this manner. I think
Yes.
every writer does that, because that is how you kind of, when you think of these evil characters in these really twisted stories, that's also a way to find out, like, how can someone be that evil. So
Right.
that, because in person you cannot be that evil, right? So
Hmm.
you use your writing to try to figure out someone, a twisted mind, and how that would work. So I don't think there's a writer who does not use their writing this way.
So you said that you explored yourself through writing and through your characters. You must have also explored certain emotions through your characters. So
Hmm.
just a general question. Um,
Hmm.
has it ever occurred to you that your characters have helped you to develop a personality, like, or maybe your personality is highly reflective on your characters?
uh, I don't think the characters that I have written so far are like me,
Hmm. Okay.
but I'm sure some part of me must, seep into every character that I write. I That could be a possibility, but actively I don't make my characters like me.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
think actively I'm very strong to write characters that are like different from me, because that way I can make them do things that I would never do
Hmm.
or say.
Okay. Yes.
And also uh, a lot of time, or I would rather say that most of the times, the story has to dictate how your characters are going to be. So, like in this book, Perfect Imperfections, it's been so long that I've written that book that I have to like take a minute to think, like, what
Oh
was
my God.
happening in that book.
Yes.
But that character was going through grief, and having to deal with loss
Uh,
of a family member, and I haven't been through something like that, so I could never like even sit to think how would I,
oh my God.
how
Yes.
how would that character feel like, because I have never been through that emotion, touch wood. so
Yes.
so
Yes.
it's very different. I feel another thing is that it'll, if I start to put myself in every character, then all the characters will be very similar. And I hope my characters all don't turn out to be all same, because I'd like to explore different, characters
Right,
through the
right.
story and their journey in the story.
Definitely. I've never talked to an author, and after talking to you, you gave a very different perspective on how characters are built. And I,
Mhm.
I assume that a lot of empathy goes into making those characters, right? Yeah.
Yes, a lot. And that's one thing I feel in India, we don't encourage, youngsters to read a lot of fiction,
Yes.
because that's one way that you can teach kids and youngsters empathy.
Hmm.
Unless and until you are told about different experiences, you'll never truly get to, find out. And fiction is the best way to experience, different situations, and how different personalities are, and build that empathy. And unfortunately, we don't see that a lot.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yes, reading is really an amazing activity, especially when you said that you get to explore different characters, different personalities, develop an empathy for them, right?
Yeah.
Now I want to talk to you about writing.
Hmm.
So I asked some of my friends if they wanted to ask you any question, and they wrote me 2, 3 questions. So I'll ask them quickly. The first was
Yes.
how to deal with writer's block.
So, writer's block, what I have understood from my own experience is basically some kind of a fear.
Okay.
And what helps me is to try and figure out what is making me scared. And to figure that out, I write. So I journal a lot. And when I am like, when I'm feeling scared to go back to writing, and I don't want to write work on my book, I kind of write about it and talk to myself as to
Okay.
why I'm feeling like this.
Oh my God.
And
Yes.
often what I feel is that uh, the most common theme every time comes up is fear of failure. So if I don't write the book, I won't fail at it, right?
Hmm.
That's the easiest way not to fail. If I don't do it, I'll not fail. But if
Right.
I write the book, and I have, like, especially with my current book, I've been talking about it for so long. And if I don't publish it, no one will ever find out whether it was a good book or not a good book.
Hmm.
But if I don't publish it, everyone will think it's a good book, because no one will ever find out
Find
whether
out.
what it was a good book or not. So that kind of, that you have to figure out what is that emotion that is holding you back. And the only thing that I know works when you are hitting a writer's block is to
Wow.
write 10 bad pages, throw them out, but the 11th page will be good. Write 100 bad pages, but the 101 page will be good. And that is the only way to get out of writer's block. Of course, if
Hmm.
you're getting overwhelmed, take breaks and allow yourself to, if you're feeling miserable, feel miserable for some time, acknowledge that emotion, and then try and get back. And for me, when I have these kind of emotions and I'm coming back to writing after taking a break, the only thing I want to do is write for 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's it. That is my goal. Just sit down and write for 5 minutes. So when you sit down to write for that 5 minutes is not a big goal, right? But you'll
Right.
never stop at that 5 minute mark. You'll go on beyond that. And slowly, slowly you'll see that you're coming out of writer's block. Another thing that I feel a lot of time you could be hitting writer's block is when you don't know what to write. And that's when, doing a lot of these writing exercises, like having a good outline, writing out of order, like these kind of writing exercises can help you when you are not sure what to write, but you
Right.
want to write, but you're just not sure what to write.
Okay. What you're saying is, if you hit writer's block, first of all, sit down and
Mhm.
write.
Yeah.
Write about why you are not able to write,
Yes.
and hopefully you'll find that reason, and maybe you'll be
Mhm.
better. And maybe you'll be be able to solve that issue. And
Mhm.
the other way to look at this is, when you sit down and you just tell yourself that, okay, you're writing for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
you'll get so immersed in that experience that you will obviously write beyond that 5 minutes.
Yes.
Wow, that is really an amazing tip. So, ma'am, I wanted to ask you that how, like, one of my friend asked me that, Shubh, I read, 2, 3 books of one author. And after
Mhm.
reading that book, when I sat down to write something, I felt that I was copying the style of that author.
Hmm.
So the question was how to get inspired by authors without becoming a copy.
Hmm. So that happens mostly when you are new to writing and when you haven't had the opportunity to explore your own style and discover your own style. And the only way to overcome that is to write a lot. So a lot of time, what I've seen with the people who are new and they just want to, they want to write a book. So instead of starting with a book, write a small scene, write 100 small scenes. And by the time you finish that activity of writing 100 small scenes, you'll find out what your style is, how you like to tell the story, what are
Mhm.
the things in the storytelling technique, what are the different things that speak to you as a writer and that you want to focus on. So you can only discover these things when you write a lot. And when you tell yourself that I'm going to write a book, that's a very big body of work to go through. You'll find a book is usually 50,000 words. A
Okay.
standard book will be 50,000 words. To perfect yourself in the very first instant of writing 50,000 words is more difficult than, say, you write 100 words, one scene of 100 words, and you write
Yes.
another scene of 100 words, and you try to find out like what it is that I like writing this scene versus that scene. And when you've written multiple such small bits, then you'll be able to find out what works for you, what you like, what are the things that you are naturally good at writing, and the things that you want to find out more how to write certain things better.
Hmm.
So I always think that don't start with the idea of you're going to write a book, because if you have never written, writing a book will feel very big and you're more likely to hit that writer's block then, because
Okay.
you will not know the different techniques, you'll not know how to, work the different plot points and the different story structures and how to bring all that together. So there is a activity that a lot of writers do that I used to do, and that was using small prompts to write. Prompts are just like giving you a situation.
Right.
Um, A met B in the office. What
Got on.
happens next?
Yes. Yes.
Right. You are on the train and you are going to a station and you miss the train. What happens next? So when you write these small things, multiple such stories, you'll find out what works for you, where you are, where you are as a writer, how much you have to grow, and you can then start thinking about writing a book.
What you're
And
saying is, what you're saying is that all of these important things, how to
mhm,
write a plot point, how to develop characters, all of these things, you can develop them if you start writing in small bits and pieces.
yes,
And once you develop that, plus once you find yourself, that what is your
hmm,
writing style, you would be, like you'd be ready to write a book.
Yes. Another thing is that writing a book is just one type of
Writing.
story.
Okay.
There's short stories, there are flash fictions, there are novellas, novelettes, and like so many different, before you can get to a novel. There are a lot of different types of body of work you can do before you get to that novel.
Okay.
And even if you are a non-fiction writer, there are small essays you can write of 1,000 words, 1,500 words before you write a full-fledged, non-fiction book.
Hmm.
So there are start small, like discover these small story writing body of work. Basically, like a short story can be anywhere between 700 words to 4,000, 5,000, 7,000 words.
So
So you can.
while you were sorry to cut you here,
Mhm.
but while you were discovering yourself, you were heavy on the writing side. Plus, you said that you have been reading for a quite a long time, right?
Yeah.
Could you mention names of some authors that have inspired you to write?
I never read a book and thought I want to write this book.
Oh my god. Yes.
Like I said, when I was in school, when I started reading a lot, I never thought I just used to love reading books. I never thought about how the author wrote this book. It never occurred to me. I was just enjoying the different types of books. And writing books came to me, I think I actively started writing stories in 2013.
Okay.
And I started with flash fictions. I used to write flash fictions, which are a couple of, not even 100 words, I would say,
Were you
less than
still
100 words.
working? Were you still working back
Yes,
then?
I was still working at that time, and I used to write during my commute in the
Oh
auto
wow.
rickshaw on my phone. And then I would come back home and write it in my notebook, whatever I had written that day. And from there, I went to writing a couple of short stories. And then I came to writing the book that I wrote, Perfect Imperfections.
Do you plan
So
to
it took
publish
me
those
some time.
stories?
I did publish a couple of flash fictions as a collection of flash fictions.
Okay.
It's called Meant to Be.
Meant to be.
And yeah, and that was again like a book for myself. All these small little stories that I had written, and some of them I eventually wrote short stories about, which I haven't published. But those small flash fictions turned into short stories, which I have. So
Yes.
that's how you develop your writing muscle, because writing 50,000 words is hard if you've never written 5 words
Yes.
and
Yes.
strung them together as a story. So you
Okay.
have to build that muscle.
So all the budding authors out there,
Hmm.
start writing more and more short
Yes,
stories. Only then will
yes,
you be able to discover yourself in your writing style.
yes.
And but the problem is, people,
Mhm,
I guess, can write, and many of us do write. But how do we
mhm.
get our work published?
So
Could
I
you
talk
tell us
about,
what are the different ways in which we can get our work published?
yes, I talk a lot about this on my YouTube channel. So in India, you can also you have to understand what you want to get published. If you just want to get published on some app, that is going to be different than getting published as a novelist or a non-fiction writer. That is slightly different from getting published on like some app that writers use. So I'm going to focus more on getting published as an author of a book, fiction, non-fiction. And for that, you have three ways of doing that. One is going through traditional publishing, where you submit your manuscript and the publisher decides whether they want to publish your work or no.
Okay.
Another way is to do it yourself. So you write a book, you go on a platform that supports indie authors like Amazon, and you publish your book. And the third way is hybrid, and there are a lot of definition of hybrid you'll find online. But
Hmm.
what I understand is that you have a publisher who will who is traditional publisher who will vet your work before they publish it, who will invest some of their money. And when you're doing a traditional publishing, you generally don't have a lot of say in how the book gets published. But in
Hmm.
hybrid publishing, you get that say in, and you pay some money of your own to, towards marketing of your printing or whatever.
Okay.
And but you get a say in how your book is promoted or how your book is marketed or whatever else decisions goes into publishing. And the degree of which you have control over will differ with depending on the kind of press they are. And these are
Right.
the three big ones
So
that you
out.
can.
Yep. So out of these three, what did you choose,
I went the self-publishing route.
and why did
So
you choose that?
I Yeah. So I did self-publishing because I found out there was something like self-publishing, and I was like, okay, let's see what that is. That was my reasoning behind trying self-publishing. But once I got into self-publishing and I started making myself, more aware of what the self-publishing industry is all about and how things are done, and slowly, my other books that I released were with that knowledge of what the self-publishing industry is. And basically, it is that you are the publisher and you have to bear all the cost of publishing your book. Now, recently in India, there are a lot of companies that help you self publish the book. And in that case, you pay them some money and they'll take care of everything. Now, everything has their pros and cons. And so
Yes.
you have to decide for your writing career, your publishing career, what is the best option? Traditional publishing, self publishing, going with a self publishing company, a hybrid publishing company. What is right for you? Only you can decide. And that will be based on what is your goal from your publishing career, what are the things that you need, what you're good at, what you're not good at, where you need help, who can provide you the best support. So you have to figure all these out, make that decision, and publish your book.
Okay. Okay. So, ma'am, I saw one of your YouTube videos, and you were talking about Amazon's Kindle Direct Publish program, which is free
Mhm.
of cost.
Hmm.
Could you tell us about what this program is, and can anyone go out there and publish their book on Amazon Kindle?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Wow.
Amazon Kindle is Kindle Direct Publishing is their self-publishing platform, and you can upload your book, and you have to create an account with their KDP. If you have an Amazon account, you can log in with that or create an account with them, and you have to fill in some details. Usually, these are details related to tax, and Amazon basically tries to figure out where you are based and how they're going to pay you royalty and what are the tax implications. Because as a company, they are answerable to the government to deal with the taxes, and that's the form that you have to fill to be able to publish your book. And that's the
Okay.
only basic hurdle that you have. Once you have filled in those details, you can upload your book. They have a very clear systematic uh, way of doing things. They have a lot of resources that will help you each step of the way. Upload your book. They also like you have to have certain things. There's something called an ISBN. So they even issue you the ISBN. You don't even have to go anywhere else to get them.
Okay.
They issue you the ISBN and you can publish your book. So basically you can publish the amount of time it takes you to publish the book is when how much ever time it took to write the book plus creating that account, uploading all the details. That's it. They'll do whatever check they have to do. If you've done everything according to their instructions, it'll take you a couple of hours to get approved, and your book will be available on the Amazon Marketplace. It's that simple.
Wow. So if I see Twitter, for example, it is a microblogging site, and you can go out there and write whatever you want to write. People can read it from any
Yes.
part of the world.
Yes.
And if we see what earlier used to happen, if you want to get your piece of writing out there, you had to get to a newspaper or maybe a journal, and
Hmm.
people who who can publish your article. But today, with Twitter and with Facebook, you can just go out there and write your words out, and
Hmm.
Amazon Kindle is doing that with the writing part of it, with the books part of it. You can now get your book out very simply, right?
Yes, yes. But you have to also know that it's easy to get your book out. But if your book is not of the quality that readers expect, then your book will not sell,
Right.
right? And so you can't just put anything on Amazon and expect it to sell. You can put anything on Amazon, but you can't expect it to sell. So you have to have that in mind, that when you are publishing, you have to know your competitor. And if your competitor is a traditional publisher who has a huge budget for the book, and you've not really spent anything on your book,
Hmm.
how well, the reader who has the money, who is going to spend money on the book, which book they are going to pick. So there's a lot that goes into it. It is very simple. They have made it very simple, but you have to also know that the marketplace is crowded, and you have to stand out for your book to sell, and you have to do something extra for that to happen. So
Right.
while the process is very simple, you have the opportunity. Earlier, there weren't these kind of opportunities. If a traditional publisher said they did not want to publish your book, you'd never published your book. But now you have that option. And most of the time, people who self publish don't self publish because they were rejected by traditional publisher. Like me, I never considered traditional publishing. So
Hmm.
a majority of self-published authors are like this, who know what they're doing, who understand the industry, understand the market, and have the funds to do it on their own.
Okay.
So it's good to understand what this industry is about and then get into it. Because if you have a lot of books that are not selling, then the algorithm comes into place, and all those things will happen. So if you're going to do something, try to put your best foot forward. And I made so many mistakes when I started, and I was like, why was no one telling me all these things?
Huh.
And that's why I actually
Coming.
started that YouTube
Yes.
channel.
Coming to that.
There are,
Coming to that.
yeah,
Could you just add here some of the harsh truth that you discovered about writing industry after you became an author?
Amazon makes it very easy for you to publish the book. But if you don't sell anything, it makes no difference to Amazon.
Hmm.
So no, usually what I thought and what I've understood from a lot of people who make the very same mistake is that एक बार publish कर दिया, you are set. That's not true. You
Okay.
have to go back and do the hard work of marketing and promoting and getting the sales. And once you start getting the sales, that's when Amazon will pick your book up and start promoting it, because they see that you're actually doing the work.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
other thing is that if you have a clear idea of what you want from your publishing career, it gets easier to make decisions. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was having fun with whatever I was doing, and I was discovering as I went through. But if I was to do it again, I would say I would have liked to know a lot of information before I got into it. People think self-publishing is easy, but that's not the case, because in self-publishing you're the publisher also, so you have to take care of all the things that in traditional publishing a publisher takes care of, and writer has to just write the book. But in self-publishing you have to take care of absolutely everything, and so you have to either know a lot of things, or be willing to learn a lot of things, or have the money to outsource them.
Okay.
And those things are these things take time to learn things. It'll take you time. So
Yes.
just knowing things, just making yourself aware, interact with the industry, have, you know, there are a lot of indie author groups, join them, um, be active in the community of writers and, authors. There are
Yes.
a lot of Facebook groups also where you'll find people. The only thing I have experienced is that people are not very generous with sharing good information. A lot of people share information that either or you, it wouldn't matter. But good information, valuable information, I find that people are not very generous with that.
Okay.
So you have to be more giving so that the other person feels like, okay, then I should also give.
Hmm. So, ma'am, we are coming to an end of this conversation. Before we end, I want you to give some suggestions to young authors who are maybe in
Mhm,
their college or school, and they dream of writing a book, they dream of becoming an author. What are some
mhm.
suggestions you want to give them?
I would say read a lot. If there's just one thing that you have to do, then read a lot, because that's where you'll understand how a story is written, uh, find out what kind of stories you like to tell, and you like the grammar and all those technical things. Also, you learn a lot about those things, and read in the language that you want to write in. So yeah, I would say read a lot. That's the one thing that you should do if you want to become a writer.
Okay, okay. So let me just wrap things up.
Yes.
This conversation was really amazing, and trust me, I really enjoyed learning about life of an author and how authors think when they develop a character. But what I found really very valuable from this conversation is were your insights of the industry, and especially your insights of from writing. Like you told us that to come out of writing block, you just have to sit down and write, and that how important it is to read. That only through reading will you be able to discover that how different authors develop their stories and develop their characters. Just to add here, I
Mhm.
had interest in writing at some point of time, but I left that. I did not write any further. But after this conversation, I believe that maybe 5 or 10 years down the line, I should have at least one book with my name on its cover on my shelf at least. As you said that you wrote a book for yourself, I also want to write a book for myself. It sells or it doesn't sell, that doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much, ma'am, for this conversation. Are there any closing remarks you want to add here?
I'd just like to say that you're doing a great job bringing these kind of contents for not just for yourself, but it's going to help so many people. So you're doing a great job here.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. So yeah, we have come to an end of the conversation. To all the listeners out there, if you want more tips on writing, if you want more insights of the industry, do check out ma'am's channel. It is Pooja Mohan on YouTube. And with this, thank you so much, ma'am.